And we are live on the air. This is 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is Connor Naspo with Lifting the Trophy. We're talking all things New York sports. And then the Devils, because obviously they're New Jersey. And for all the haters out there, they're going to be like, oh, the Giants, they're from Jersey. And the Redbulls play in Jersey. I don't care, okay? They're a New York team. So we're going to start off with the Knicks, everything about the NBA Cup, everything that went on, about the big players, the big plays that were made. Then we're going to go on to the Redbulls, all the big signings that happened there, because there's a lot. New coach, new head of sport, new players being signed. It's a lot. Then we're going to go on to the Giants, about that abysmal game yesterday. I went to it. It was a great game to go to, like to have fun with my family, but horrible to watch. It was bad. We'll get into it. And then we're going to go on to the Devils and wrap up with the Yankees. So, yeah, this is Lifting the Trophy. This is my first show on. Oh, my gosh, my nose is running. This is my first show on. If you guys would like to, there's a live stream going on my Instagram. And there's a bunch of socials, Lifting the Trophy, that you guys can follow if you would like. So, getting into the Knicks. We have, obviously, the Knicks won the in-season tournament. Some people call it the Emirates Cup. Some people call it in-season tournament. Some people call it NBA Cup. Whatever you call it. The Knicks won it because we're the best. Knicks are the best. It's the best. I mean, it's proven. Y'all can't debate me right now. The Knicks won the NBA in-season tournament, and that's great segue into my point here. People are saying how unimportant this is. Oh, it's so cheesy. Oh, why should we care? Because we're supposed to win. That's what teams do. Why are we getting mad that teams are winning? Why are we trying to downsize a team winning? I don't know. This boggles my mind. Why are people trying to put down the team for doing their job? Literally, what they are getting paid to do. What you all tune in every other day to see them do is win. Why are we getting mad that they're winning? I know there's a whole thing like, oh, we want to keep our eyes on the prize of the cup and winning the finals. Yeah, we know. Everyone wants that, but we can't do that yet. We can't win the league yet. All we can do is win the games in front of us against the best teams we can and prove that we're a contender for this cup. The championship, not the cup. Sorry. Excuse me. But it boggles my mind. To me, I was ecstatic when they won the cup. I was like, finally, we're proving ourselves as a contender for the title this year. We're proving ourselves as a team that can be taken seriously after a new coach is coming in here, after firing our coach last year, who was not the problem. Tibbs was not the problem, by the way. Yes, it was a different style of coaching. It was a different way to coach and whatnot, but I don't think he was the problem by any means. We got 2 good seasons with him, you know? We got good runs with him, and I don't understand why that's a problem. Why we're not essentially taking what you can get, you know? Like, we had a good coach going, but whatever. We fire it. We bring in Mike Brown. Whatever. I can't complain about what's in the past because now we're in the present, okay? And I'm happy with it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy with the way things are going. I'm happy with the moves that we've made. I'm happy with the depth we finally have on the roster. You know, we're able to play games not just depending on Cat, Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges. We have these new kids up here. Tyler Kolek. Hello. I mean, big time plays in this game. He was. Oh my God, the grit and the heart that he was showing was amazing. I didn't know who this kid was coming into it. I saw this kid, I'm like, all right, little dude on the town, little young kid, you know, joining the team, whatever. And then he starts making big plays. I'm like, okay, all right, I see it. And then he blocked Wemby, who's like 7 foot tall. This guy's 6 foot. He blocked him. Don't ask me how. He defied physics, but he did it. He found a way to stick his head in there and block him. I was impressed, and from that moment, I was kind of like, all right, yeah, this is the dog. This is the dude, you know? Like, we obviously got Josh Hart on the team who's got all the grit in the world and all the passion and fire that we need. But now we have Tyler Kolek out here making plays, dude. Making plays. And then also, too, we have Clarkson. I don't know his first name, I'm not going to lie. Clarkson, oh, my God, he's one of those dudes that, like, comes off the bench and just makes big plays. You know, you got to have those people on the team, no matter what sport it is. You have to have that person on your bench that's going to give you some energy. That's going to come off the bench and it's completely, like, if the game is a little stagnant with the way it was going, you know, like the Knicks were falling behind a little bit. Like the first half of the game, I won't lie, the Knicks were kind of getting smoked. Well, okay, I won't say smoked, but the Spurs were definitely the better team in the first half of this game. And the third quarter rolls around. I'm sitting in my bed, I'm drinking canned boba for some reason. It's horrible, by the way. Don't drink canned boba. But I'm drinking canned boba. I'm eating a bag of chips. I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm texting my Uncle Al. I'm like, yo, Uncle Al, you seeing this right now? Like, what's going on? Like, our guys are just, like, we're leaving the Spurs to just take wide open threes. I'll get to that in a few minutes because I got some words on that. But yeah, like, we're letting the Spurs take wide open threes. Like, what's going on? And then about, halfway through the third quarter, Kolek comes in, Clarkson comes in, and the energy shift, like, you feel the shift in the energy, and it's instant. It is instant that immediately you see Kolek just running up and down, and then you see Clarkson just banging through. He had 2 clutch threes in a row, or three threes in a row. Sorry, 3 threes in a row, and oh my gosh, dude, that's the energy we needed. And then the whole team felt it, and you could see that the team felt it, and they started hauling, what? They started getting up and down the court. They started taking shots and making them too. They were actually making shots, which is important if you guys didn't know. Like, you could take the shots and miss it like we were doing the first half, but finally someone decided to start shooting and making the basket. That's basketball 101 for you right there. Yeah, from there we had OG Anunoby. I mean, come on. He was also, he's really come alive in the past few games. He's someone I've really started to take note of, and someone I don't even know how to explain it. Just someone who's really got on my radar and been like, okay, this guy really knows how to ball. Because last year, yeah, he was good last year. Obviously, he was on the team for the past, 2 years? I forgot. We had good runs. He was obviously a part of them. He would come off the bench. He wouldn't always start, but he'd be there for the team. These past few games, he's really come alive. I think he's really starting to find his confidence, too. I think this cup really helped the whole team with the confidence, The entire team just has a new swagger, a new mojo to them. We beat the Pacers, not starting half our players, by the way. We beat the Pacers without Cat, Mitch, Hart, and Cement. I mean, those are 4 of our main guys right there. We had a whole bunch of second stringers on the court, and we still managed to win. Granted, it came down to the last few minutes. Dude, I was at Applebee's, right, with like my girlfriend and my 2 friends. I was, eating a nice chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, and then I'm looking across the Applebee's, and I see Brunson just bang a 3. I was up, I was cheering, I was like, oh no, that's the Knicks, oh yeah. And then the waiter walks by and like laughs underneath his breath, and I was like, that's the perfect time for him to walk by, of course, right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we beat the Pacers, massive game. Then we lose to the Sixers, whatever, cry about it. I don't really care. And then we beat the Heat last night. I mean, we smoked the Heat. Get it? Play on words there? You get it. It was funny. But again, OG Anunoby, I mean, he came alive last night too. I mean, him and Jalen Brunson. We got to talk about Jalen Brunson, obviously. Dude, I saw this one take on Instagram. This one lady was saying how, like, the Knicks are a good team. They're a good team, but they need a dude. They need someone who's going to carry them. And I was like, what are you talking about? We have Jalen Brunson. He's like the best point guard ever. Not actually, obviously I'm over-exaggerating, but like easily top 3 in the league right now. Easily top 3. And he was like, this lady was saying like, he's short. I'm like, okay, and he scored 47 points last night. Your point is, like, he set a record at MSG. 47 points in one game. Like mediocre players don't do that. Like, you don't have just like a pop-off game like that as a mediocre player. Greats, legends have games like that. That's what Jalen Brunson is. He's a legend. Oh, legend. That's the noise that happens anytime he walks onto the court. It's just yeah. Okay. Moving on. I need Dante DiVincenzo back. Your favorite ginger. Everyone's favorite little leprechaun who was on the Knicks. Went to the Timberwolves. I mean, he's not doing much over there. They're not doing much over there. They're not relevant. They're really not. Like, okay, they're like middle of the pack or whatever. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even check the standings. I don't really care. In my mind, the Timberwolves are not that good. So let's get Dante DiVincenzo back, because when he's so good. Imagine him and Hart together. Oh my gosh, dude, the amount of grit that's between them, the amount of passion that's between them, that'll carry this team. And also too, you have another shooter on the team That gets people off of Jalen Brunson's back. That's another shooter that you have to take into account for. So Jalen Brunson, yeah, will be double teamed. Boom, pass to DiVincenzo. Bang, three. Bang, three. Bang, another three. And all of a sudden, just like that, we're winning every single game we see. It's that simple. It's that simple. Mike Brown, I know you're listening to me right now. I know you are. Get Dante DiVincenzo back. You don't need. I mean, yeah, I'll take Giannis too. Giannis is pretty all right. Giannis is pretty good, I'll admit. But like, dude, DiVincenzo's a proven baller, dude. Especially on the Knicks. And he would fit right in. Like, he would fit right into this rotation. You know what I mean? He obviously won't start the first couple of games. He has to work his way back. Because, put yourself in a second stringer's shoes on that team. Like, all of a sudden, this guy comes in. Oh, he was already on the team once before. And all of a sudden, he starts taking your minutes and starting over you. I'd be pretty mad. If it was me, I'd be pretty mad if I was like a second stringer and that started happening. But I want it back. I want Giannis too. And I was just saying he was like good. Yeah, he's really freaking good. I need imagine Giannis and Cat together. Honestly though, we're probably gonna have to give up somebody like Cat. Honestly, it's probably gonna be Cat to get Giannis in there. And honestly, I mean, I feel like we know Cat's obviously an insanely good player, great 3-point shooter, one of the best 3-point shooting bigs in the league, hands down. But when you can upgrade, you have to upgrade. And this goes for like other sports too. What's it called? The Redbulls, right? We had Kyle Dunk in there. He was good. He was good. But we had to upgrade now to this new guy. What's his name? Whatever his name is. I don't know. We got a new right back to replace him. And he was like Kyle Duncan was good, but now we're upgrading just to make the team better. Like, yes, we obviously get emotionally connected to these players. We're like, oh yeah, I love Cat. I love Cat. Sometimes he plays like a baby. Sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? Are you you don't think sometimes, but I still love him. I still want him on the team and banging threes, bang, 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 three after three after three, and then he'll miss like 20 in a row, but it's all right because we love him. Like I was saying, because we love him, kitty cat. He's a kitty cat. That's his nickname. Probably should have specified that, but when you can upgrade, you have to take the chance because then it's for the greater good of the team, and you're gonna see instant improvement too. Because like when a new guy comes on the team, you almost kind of like all the players kind of have to think like, oh, we kind of got to prove ourselves to him. Like I know when I was playing soccer, and we get like a new teammate, I'm like, all right, yeah, I gotta play good now. I gotta lock in extra hard so I can look cool in front of this new person. Obviously, I'd give it like my all every game, but when there's a new player on there, I'm like, all right, yeah. Time for me to show this kid what's up. Welcome to the team, little bro. You gotta hang with us. And I'm like start dribbling around everyone and like totally smoke us all because we weren't that good. We never won the championship, but it's all right. It's not like I lose sleep over it. Nah, I do miss playing like rec, just with my friends like every week. Dude, peak. If I could go back to one thing, it would be that. I was a goalie too. I'm only 5'10", but I was a pretty good goalie. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm shifty. I get across the net pretty well. And I'm stupid. I don't think so. I just kind of run out and hit the ball. Or kick the ball. What am I talking about? But yeah, back to what I was saying. I mean, you get Giannis on the team. One, obviously, insanely good player. Hello, Giannis, big name in the league. Also, two, he's going to boost the team. And sometimes you need that. You get into like the middle of the season. You start to lull. Like people start getting complacent. People on the team start being like, all right, we could lose this game. Whatever. It's just one game. But when in reality, it's every game that matters, and it's so evident when it comes down to the end of the season, and you're only like behind first place by like one game. You're like, man, that one game if I put a little more effort in, or like man, that one game if I didn't make that mistake, if I didn't make that turnover where we lost by 2 points, And like you think about the Yankees last year, right, to the Blue Jays, we lost the division by 1. We were out of first place by 1 game, and that's like. Devin Williams. I'll tell you, yeah, it's Devin Williams. That was the problem. We got rid of him, though. Have fun with him, Mets. You can take him. Go cry yourself to sleep, too, like how we did. You could deal with Devin Williams now. We'll get into that later, because believe me, I have a lot to rant about. If you're my friend, I rant to all my friends all the time. So I've just been saving up my hot takes for the radio. I've been like writing them down. I have a sheet. If you're on the live stream, I have a sheet in front of me of just hot takes that I'm gonna get to eventually. But yeah, okay. Going back to the game the other night against the Pacers, I think that was a big game for multiple reasons. Obviously, the Pacers You know, that those are our enemy in the postseason. You know, them and the Celtics, who we took care of last year. Thank you very much. The Pacers took care of us, but it's God, man. I wish we had that season back. We could have won it all, man. But nope, no. Think ahead, Connor. Come on. This season, we're gonna win it all. But I keep sidetracking. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going back to the Pacers game the other day. It was a big win. It was a big win. Only one, because it's the Pacers. Obviously, any time we play against them is gonna be a big game. Also, two, is playing mostly our second string players. That's huge. Because the biggest problem last year was we don't have any depth. You know, our starters will get injured and we would just lose. And the other teams will know it too. Like, all right, yep. Oh, Cat's out. Oh, you know, Hart's out. They're going to put some second string guys. Just target him because he's not going to be that good, you know, because our second string players never had any time to play. You know, they never had any time to learn and essentially get used to being in the big leagues. Totally different than college, you know, totally different. And it's a whole other, it's a different pace, it's a different endurance, it's an endurance battle, you know, because in college you have two halves, you know, but in NBA you have four quarters, and it's just more, everyone wants the ball more. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like you need to get your second stringers on there so they can get used to the flows, and also they have the confidence to when, you know, they go on the court, that when they're in a dire situation and you need someone because someone just tore their ACL and you need to put on a second stringer and they're good. That's what you need. You need someone who knows they're going to be good. And that was the issue last year. And now with Mike Brown, he's giving our second stringers time. He's giving them playing time. He's letting them make mistakes and learn and develop into these good second-string players so we can cycle them. We can give Jalen Brunson a break. We can let him breathe for a minute, you know? Not going to have him huffing and puffing the entire game, you know? Like, we're not going to have Cat miss 3 threes and not have anyone else to turn to, you know? Because Cat, he's so up and down sometimes, dude. Like, I love Cat, but he is so up and down. Like, sometimes he's banging them. Sometimes he's just airballing. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, sometimes it's better to pass it, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's better to pass it. Not to Mitchell Robinson, though, because he can't shoot to save his life. But, actually, got to give credit where credit's due. The Hack-and-Mitch strategy, for all who doesn't know, Hack-and-Mitch is essentially, we have a player, Mitchell Robinson, humongous dude, like 7 foot or something like that. I don't know, or maybe he's like 6'11", close enough, whatever. Like, he's the only one that can compete with Wemby. But, he couldn't shoot to save his life. He's like strictly on the floor for defense and offensive rebounds because he's just really good at. That's what he's good at. He's good at offensive rebounding. He's good at defense. That's what he does. He's lengthy. He's tall. He's gritty. He gets up there, grabs that ball, pushes it out to Brunson, bang, 3. That's what he's on the floor for, right? But the teams found out your boy can't make free throws to save his life. Oh my God! So what they would do every time he got the ball, they would just foul him, send him to the line, make him miss the free throws, and essentially turn the ball over right to them. Which, I mean, when you think about it, it's a good strategy, you know? But he's been banging his free throws in now. He's been draining them. I'm not, like, and the thing is, too, like, it's the funniest thing. Because I'll be watching the game, and, like, he'll go up for he'll get called for a foul. I'm like, great. Here we go. He's going to go miss some more free throws, and I'm just going to go and punch a pillow or something, but he drains it, and the entire stadium just erupts. We're all like, yeah, he actually made one. Ah. It was like that yesterday. I was at the football game, and the I don't know who the kicker was. I probably should have researched this before I came on here. Sorry, first time on. I should have. I'm learning. But the kicker made the first field goal. Me, my dad, and our brother, we were. It was like we won the game. We were like, he actually made it. He made a field goal. No. And we were jumping. We were high-fiving everyone around us. We were even high-fiving Vikings fans who were behind us because they're like, this team is pathetic. Like, we're going to smoke them. They didn't smoke us, by the way. You only lost by 3 because both our teams stink. But it was the greatest thing. We didn't miss an extra point or a field goal. Mind you, we only... Hold on. I gotta get myself to talk about later. This is a 2-hour show. I gotta pace myself a little bit here. Pacers. Going back to the Pacers. Y'all heard that? That was pretty smooth. I know. Going back to the Pacers. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Going back to the Pacers. The Knicks refuse to lose. Is a big thing this season. The Knicks refuse to lose. You saw this in the beginning of the year. You saw this with the new coach, Mike Kafka. Mike Kafka? What? That's the coach of the Giants. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's Mike Brown. I'm losing it. You saw like Mike Brown. You saw him immediately instill that winning mentality. You know, we had Tibbs last year, and he was good. He was good, heavily defensive, but he didn't have the the grit immediately, you know? All right. We got a caller coming in. I'm going to send it to a quick little break. I'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. And we are back to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is Lifting the Trophy. We have a phone caller on now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
Good, good. I got to tell you, I've been listening to talk radio for a long time, sports talk radio.
Yep.
And I got to tell you that for too long, all they discuss is contracts and how much this player is being paid and how much. And I got to tell you, so far that your show has been very refreshing.
Oh, thank you.
Because you've been talking about the games and talking about what's happening instead of talking about how much these guys are being paid and what the trade is, and you're talking about technique and the foul shooting. I'm really enjoying it so far. But I got a specific question.
All right, hit me.
All right, so you go to a game and and the fans start to clear out because the home team isn't playing so well, and you're sitting up in the cheap seats. Is it ethical for you to move down into the lower levels if you're up in the high levels?
I mean, listen, if they're leaving, and if they're leaving this, they're fake fans. First off, I always stay to the end. That's my thing. I think honestly, get down to those front seats if you're gonna cheer. If you're going to, go down there and support the team, yeah, get down there because I'm sure the players want you down there and, help, supporting them and giving them motivation. But if you're just going to go sit down there and go on your phone, then stay at the top.
Well, there's an interesting situation because I think I saw you at the New York Giants game yesterday, and you were going down to the lower levels. Is that true?
We got tickets for the lower level. My mom actually bought them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was nice.
That's awesome. How about Redbulls games? Do you do that at Redbulls games?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Okay.
If there's no one down there, I'm just going to walk. If there's an open seat, yeah, I'll walk down there and sit down there. Because I'm loud. I'm a good fan. But typically, I do get tickets, normally in the lower sections of the arena. So I'm kind of close to it already. But, me and my friends go down there, yeah.
What do you think about back to the earlier point, what do you think about the contracts and discussing how much this guy is being paid and can we get this guy? And don't you just think that's what's wrong with sports today and that people don't talk more about what the skill level is of the players and how they can improve their technique? And
yeah, I think a lot of times people are I agree with you. I think a lot of times people are giving up on players. Sometimes I feel like they don't give them enough room to grow. I feel like a lot of times players have a lot of potential that aren't unlocked sometimes, and that's sometimes due to coaching. And immediately people start thinking all right, we got to lower their contract or we got to sign someone else instead of giving your players time to develop and turn into greats, because you have to keep a player in a system. If you're developing a player in a certain system and then all of a sudden they're not working anymore, then yeah, you could get rid of them. But if like Jaxson Dart right now, right? He's playing in two totally different systems. One was with Brian Daboll, now one's with Mike Kafka. I know Mike Kafka is doing the play calling for Brian Daboll, but it's completely different because Brian Daboll had such a specific idea and path for Dart, and now getting rid of that, it's a lot. And you could see it on Dart. You could see it in the way Dart plays. You could see it's a completely different moxie and mojo that he doesn't have anymore. And I feel like some people are talking about getting rid of him. I don't think that's the play at all. I think giving him time to develop and turn into something big, because he's already good, but I think he could be turned into something big is definitely the play.
Well, then you run into a situation like Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones, and maybe there's a jinx over New York, and maybe the pressure that the fans put on the players that these guys don't perform in New York, but when they go to other markets, they actually start to play well. So maybe there's the psychology of the player.
I mean, listen, I won't lie. There's definitely a lot of pressure in New York. We're a massive sports city. That's most of what we are is all sports. I'm literally wearing a New York Giants and a New York Yankees hat right now. We take our sports seriously. But I think, with Daniel Jones specifically, he just went to a better team. We just didn't have the weapons for him. We had an O-line that crashed every 2 seconds. And I think, honestly, he was also hurt all the time. and we had to constantly turn to other quarterbacks to fill in for him, which I don't think helped. But I think if you're not able to handle New York, you shouldn't be here. And I think that's on the coaching. You have to interview these players and see if they have the stones to be here, you know?
I respect that.
Hey.
What about there's also another rumor going around that Yao Ming might be signed by the Knicks pretty soon. Any truth to that?
I haven't heard anything about that. What I've heard a lot of talk is Giannis, like I was talking about before. But I would not be opposed to Yao Ming. I think getting a new face in here that could light up the team and boost them, I think that'd be great. I think, honestly, any kind of change to the Knicks will be good just for a motivational factor. You know, obviously you can't get like a third string off of like the Nets or something. But if we're bringing in like a quality product like Yao Ming, who my little brother Logan loves Yao Ming, and I know he'd be happy if he came on the team. But I think he brings certain assets that other players obviously don't. And I think also motivationally wise, like I was just saying, I think it would be a great addition.
Well, I wish you well on your new radio program and. Keep lighting it up, all right?
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. If you guys do want to call in for future reference, the phone number is 973-655-4256. I'm going to try and take the calls like periodically after I start bringing down some points and whatnot. And I think I was also on air while I was picking up the other phone call. Again, I am new to this whole thing, so bear with me there. That was embarrassing, but hey, we get through it, you know. Now we can move on to the Giants. I think we had a good little talk there about the Knicks, but we're moving on to the Giants now because I feel like it's a perfect segue from what that caller was just talking about. The game yesterday was bad, to say the least. I think embarrassing is definitely a word for it. Dysfunctional. Never should play again. No, not. Let's not go that far. I think Mike Kafka is just bad. Like he's just not a good head coach. Like there's too much stuff going on for him. He's got a pee-wee sized brain, the size of a pebble, and it's pretty clear because he's like babying Jaxson Dart. Like what are we doing? Like Jaxson Dart threw like 10 passes. And granted, we have, and like, yeah, he went, I don't know the stat that he went for, but like, he only got like 3 or 4 catches, which, by the way, not his fault. We ran the ball like 30 plus times, which, look, Tyrone Tracy's a good running back, yeah, but we can't keep spamming him every 2 seconds. It's not going to work every time, and it didn't work every time. It's pretty clear it didn't work every time. But Jaxson Dart, we need to get him weapons. We need to get him weapons. Obviously, Malik Neighbors is out right now, yeah, torn ACL. We've been past that already. Darius Slayton, oh my God, this guy's washed. He just got here and he's washed. And of course, we signed him to a big 4-year contract. Of course, right? Because we're just the smartest franchise in history who just signs every player that walks into through the door. Every player that walks into. God, Darius Slayton cannot catch a cold. He couldn't catch a Christmas tree if it was thrown at him. A ball right on his chest, right on his sternum, dropped it. It was a dart from Jaxson Dart, for lack of better words. And he dropped it. How do you drop it? It was a clear first down. That's a drive that's going to totally score a touchdown, too. I felt it. And, like, that was a drive we needed. Because we lost by 3 points, man. We lost by 3 points. Oh, my gosh. But we need to get Jaxson Dart weapons. I think going into this draft, I think a lot of fans right now want to tank. And listen, I'm a fan first, and I want to see the team win first. But like we got 2 games left, I could bite the bullet on these next 2. The Patriots we're gonna lose to. Even if I wanted to win, the Patriots they're gonna cook us. We got no chance against the Patriots. But the Raiders are just as bad as us, if not worse. The Raiders are bad, dude. Like they got no defense, no offense, kind of like us. But we have Jaxson Dart, baby. But here comes the whole conversation about do we want to win against the Raiders? Because the Raiders are contention for the first, the overall first pick, first overall. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. They are sole contention for the first pick. And here's the thing about the first pick: we don't need a new quarterback. We don't I hate to break it to everybody. We don't need a new quarterback. Jaxson Dart is not the issue here. He's our savior, not our supervillain. Ooh, put that on the t-shirt. Damn. Yo, someone quote that. Someone clip that. Chat, clip that. He's our savior here. And once we get our players back, it's going to be so much better. Once we get a coach who knows what he's doing, once we get a competent offensive line. Actually, no, the offensive line has been pretty good. Once we get a competent play caller, we will be all right. We will be a decent team next year. I think 2 years will be a playoff contender. Not a playoff contender. We'll be in the playoffs in 2 years. Maybe next year, if everything goes like how I think it's going to go. My delusional fan-first mind will be good. But reality, it's probably not. But with this, sorry, I'm totally rambling over here. Going back to the first pick, you control the board. You control the draft with the first pick because everyone comes to you. You got chicks waiting on the line. You know what I mean? You got the first pick. All of a sudden, the Titans are calling you. Hello. Oh, you want the first pick? What are you going to give us? Oh, you're only going to give us this? Well, the Raiders offered this much, and the Jets offered us this, so I don't know. And also, you got people calling in. You know what I mean? People offering you big players. Oh, you want to give us your star wide receiver? Well, the Panthers called. The Panthers aren't going to call him. They're doing good right now. The Vikings called in. They're a good receiver. They're offering us that too and this. So all of a sudden, you have all these offers, all these teams coming to you. You can make friends along the way too. You can establish good relationships with teams for the future when you really need it. Because we don't really need it right now. We're going to get the first pick. Because I think if we played similar to the way we played yesterday, dude, we will... we got the first pick practically in our laps by now, right? But the Raiders, it's going to be a trash can off, like a dumpster fire off. Who could be the worst team, essentially? It's going to be the worst game you guys will ever see. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to have a nice seltzer in my hand. Just a normal bubbly seltzer in my hand. And I'm going to be sitting there probably with my little brother, my dad, my girlfriend, somebody, maybe my friends. And I'm going to look to them. I'm going to be like, this is the one game I'm okay if we get absolutely dominated in. This is the one game where I'm not going to cry myself to sleep if we don't have positive passing yards within most of the first half. Like yesterday, Jaxson Dart literally threw for -4 in the first half until 5 minutes left, where he finally did a little shovel pass to Theo Johnson to get a first down. Look at you go. We're babying. Dude, he's getting baby right now by Mike Kafka. They're afraid to let him throw the ball, man. Let this guy ball out. Let him learn. Now is the time that we can try things. We got nothing. What do we have on the line? Nothing. Injuries? Yeah, okay. Listen, but he's on the field, so the chance he gets injured no matter what. Might as well let this guy ball out. Might as well let him get his moxie back. Let him get his mojo back. You saw at the beginning of the year when he beat the Chargers? Bro was balling. Bro had all the confidence in the world. My guy was top of the world back then. Especially then when he beat the Eagles too. Yeah, I still remember that. I still remember that, Eagles fans. I still remember that. We beat you, and you beat us. We beat you first. Yeah. I know you clinched the division, but it wasn't a hard division to clinch anyways, all right? We all stink in the division, even you guys. You're not doing that good. But when he was doing that, bro was balling out. Bro was going all out. And it was amazing. You saw it. Yo, him and Cam Scatterbo. Yo, it's 4-4 and 06 or whatever the numbers are. God, I'm blanking. And you saw the posts on the Instagram. You saw him doing the little celebration dances on the sideline, dabbing everyone up. The hype. He had that black eye thing going on for him, which he still does, but just doesn't. It's shrunk. I don't know if you all have noticed it, but it's shrunk on his eye. He used to have his half of his face covered in black, but now it's just a little dash over his eye. It's like Scar, and Scar had from the Lion King has a little dash on his face. That's kind of how he looks right now, and it's just, if that's not symbolic of the Giants season, I don't know what is. We're slowly losing our minds, game by game, crying myself just dude. We had Young Wei Koo couldn't even kick the football. He missed the football. He hit the floor. How do you do that? I've never seen that before. Sorry, I don't know if that was really loud. I tried moving away from the microphone, but oh my God, when I saw that, I was in my dorm. I was laying down on my bed, and my friend Joe was there, and I turned around and I go, Joe, Did you see that? Did you see that? Are you mad too? Is it just what did Joe? I don't know. Someone was next to me. I turned to them. I'm like, are we watching the same football game right now? Because I'm losing my mind over here. I genuinely don't know what to do sometimes. Because oh my gosh. I mean, like, honestly though, the biggest thing is players not being healthy. You know, if we had healthy players, we'd be good. We'd be all right. You know, we'd be chilling, low key. Like if we had healthy players, I mean, listen, bro, put Cam Scadaboo in, let him work his magic. Yeah, let him cook. I love Cam Scadaboo. I'm a Scadaboo fan to the day I die. My little brother yesterday, he was wearing I don't know what jersey he was wearing, but he put a piece of duct tape over the name, and he just wrote Scadaboo because we don't have a Cam Scadaboo jersey. And it was sorry, my nose is running. It was the funniest thing. Oh my god, I thought it was hilarious. And he had like a whole like full like head scarf thing on. He was dripped out, bro. He's dripped out. I'm wearing what I'm wearing right now. If you're in the live stream, you'll see. But I'm wearing like a nice Giants jacket that my girlfriend bought me. Oh, I love it. This is so comfortable. It's cozy. Nice inner lining. It's beautiful. It's great. But yeah, I'm a Scadaboo fan. You see him laying down blocks on dudes like half his size. He's like my height and weight, kind of. He's like a little bit taller, a little bit heavier than me. But, like, he's flattening dudes that are like twice his size. And like that's the kind of players we need, man. That's what we need on the team. That kind of like get stuff done, no matter what. And Jaxson Dart was doing that in the beginning of the year with the way he was scrambling out of the pocket. The way he was fixing broken plays. Even that's not working anymore, man. Like yesterday, he got sacked like 3 times. And yeah, like obviously some of our offensive linemen are injured, you know, but it shouldn't be that bad. It really shouldn't be that bad. Like even like he scramble plays, you know what I mean? Like he'll be out of the pocket searching for someone to throw to, and he's the one open, you know. And the Vikings have no defense either. The Vikings, it's not like the Vikings have some superb like secondary coverage here. They're leaving gaps so big you could drive a semi through it, and no one has the mental capacity to think, oh, let's go to where no one is, so maybe my quarterback can throw me the ball. They're like, oh, I'll just stay right next to all these defenders, all these safeties. Let me just stand here and see if he'll make a perfect throw to me. Let's see if he'll thread the line beautifully. You know, let's see if he'll make something happen for me instead of running to the open space and be like, oh, look at me over here. I'm wide open, Jaxson Dart. No, let's just sit here and wait and tie my shoe. Let's go kick stones in the corner of an end zone. Well, the ball's not going to reach you. God. And I won't lie. You know, listen, like Jaxson Dart, he did have some bad passes. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. He botched some passes. Yeah, you know, it happens. It happens, you know. But a lot of that has to do with the players around him, you know, because we see that he can ball out. We know he can ball out. We've seen it multiple times. So I don't understand what everyone's saying. Oh yeah, we need to go for Mendoza now and get this new quarterback coming out of God knows where in the draft. No, what we're gonna do, we're gonna let him go. Here it is. Here's the master plan for what we're gonna do if we have the first round pick. Right? We don't take that quarterback first round. No. What we do? We let them all call us up. Yo, Giants, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. We want the first round pick. All right, I hear what you're saying. All right, I like it. We trade the first round pick for some really good wide receiver, some really good O lineman. We go back maybe like 4th or 5th, right? Get some draft capital for us, and then we pick a wide receiver. That's it. We need a wide receiver. Either it comes from the team that we trade back for, or the draft. It's that simple. Or maybe even better, right? Oh, Giants, how you doing? I got a great O lineman for you. Oh, I like the way that sounds. You're going to give us some money too? Yeah. Going to give us some food? Yeah, I'll take that too. All right, you could have the first round pick. We'll take your O-lineman. We'll take your money. We'll take your food. They're not actually going to offer them food. That's just me wishing because I'm hungry. And then we have what? We're probably middle of the draft pick then. We take a decent wide receiver that we develop. Just someone great. We get him with our new head coach, whoever comes in. I haven't started researching new head coaches yet. That'll be like give me like 2 or 3 weeks. When the season's officially over, 3 weeks, I'll start looking at coaches at who I want to replace Mike Kafka. He ain't coming back. Mike Kafka's not coming back. He's not our coach. Let me say this again. He's not our coach. He stinks. No good. No bueno. He's not good. Nicht gut. That's German, by the way. Duolingo. But we're going to get a new coach. We're going to get a new wide receiver. And then we're going to develop him. We're going to make him into a star. Going to make him into a star. So Jaxson Dart now has 2 weapons. And we'll have depth. Because we're going to, no matter, I don't know when we are, but we're going to get Scadaboo. We're going to get Malik Neighbors back. You know what I mean? I don't know how good they're like. Honestly, we don't know how good they're gonna be coming back. That's the issue. You know, you don't know how people are gonna recover from these. Hold on, yeah, we do. Cam Scadaboo is crazy. He's gonna come back. He's gonna be like, "Argh." You know, he's gonna be running his head into walls and whatnot. He'll be fine. He probably will want to get hurt again just cause he's just built like that. You know, but Malik Neighbors, yeah, see Malik Neighbors. He's like, he's got that swagger about him too. But in a cocky way, not like a I'm the man. Like, see, the thing is with like Cam Scadaboo, he proved he was the man. You know, Cam Scadaboo, he showed us he was the man. Like, yeah, we bestowed that title down to him. Cam Scadaboo, you are the man. Here you go, my good fellow. Malik Neighbors, he's like, yeah, I want you guys to shout leak at every time I score a football game, which we will. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm not gonna. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go leak. Every time he makes an insanely good catch or scores a touchdown. You know what I mean? But like he's got a cockiness to him, and I feel like he's just gonna, oh, my ankle hurts. Oh, take me to the blue tent, check out my ankle. But like Cam Scadaboo, he'll play with his elbow bent backwards. You know what I mean? He'll break all of his fingers and he'll still be running up and down the field. So I love Cam Scadaboo so much, dude. He's just crazy. You know what I mean? He's so fun to watch. Like that, it felt so good when he was healthy and on the team. It's like, finally, Giants have something good. But we don't, of course, because they're Giants fan. And New York sports is cursed. New York sports is cursed. And that's just a fact. Look at every single season. We get so close. But then we never get it. Actually, well, I mean, technically, the Redbulls 2 team did just win the MLS Next Pro Cup. Which, by the way, we'll get into that after the break in a few minutes. We're Mike Brown. Not Mike Brown. Oh, my gosh. We took the coach from there, and now he's a coach of the New York Redbulls. But we'll get into that later. I got a whole bunch to talk about that. Sticking to the Giants now. Let me look at my little paper here. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, defense. We need our defense. We have holes the size of planets when we're going against a decent run team. You know. Oh my gosh, sorry. I almost snotted everywhere. That's gross. Stop talking. But like our defensive line will get picked apart so easily. You know, like we'll have our defensive line up and then hike, and then all of a sudden they just get split wide open like the parting of the Red Sea, and then we have running backs running all the way down to take it home. It's like, dude, we can't keep having that. What happened to Abdul Kara? I thought he was supposed to be a dog. Like, yeah, he played good against the Vikings, but it's the Vikings, dude. Like, okay. That's like practically a participation trophy. Like, yeah, we kind of expected you to be good against the Vikings because they're just as bad as we are. You know? Brian Burns, on the other hand, he's been having a good season. Started off, hold on. Let me go back a little bit. Abdul Carter, I got a bone to pick with you, little bro. You think you're too good? Huh? You think you're showing up for practices late, leaving early, falling asleep? You know, he wouldn't get started for opening drives for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. They just wouldn't start him. And then they score, the other team will score, and we're like, oh, where's Abdul Carter? On the bench with a nice jacket around him, with a hat on? Like, really, bro? Like, grow up. Come on. You're a rookie, bro. You are a rookie. You don't have the authority to be like, yeah, I'll show up late for practice. Even the veterans don't do that. Sexy Dexy, can I say that? Dexter Lawrence, he's at practice. I don't know it for sure, but I know it for sure. He's at practice before anyone else. He's leading by example. Even though he's not having the best season so far, we got 2 games left. Even though he didn't have the best season, he was still showing up, and he was leading the team. You can see it on the side. Jameis Winston, perfect example. Jameis Winston, he's your energy maker. You saw it even when he was on the field. You saw the energy that he brought. I mean, listen, here's the thing with Jameis Winston. You don't know what you're gonna get when he starts playing. You know what I mean? He'll send a moonshot down, and like God knows what's gonna happen when that ball is in the air. Either he's getting picked off or it's a touchdown. But that's what I love. You know what I mean? Nothing to lose. Let's just send the ball down and see what happens. Like, here, you go deal with it, wide receivers. I'm going to throw you a pass. Just go catch it. And that's where Malik Neighbors comes in. That's where our star wide receiver will come in. But guess what? MetLife Stadium is too good for grass. It's got to have turf. Got to have that ankle-biting turf. Because I don't even know. I don't even know why they still have turf. Why can't we go grass? MetLife, you're an outdoor stadium. You can grow grass. Oh, we're in Jersey. Oh, the weather's bad. Okay, and cry me a river. Cry me a river. Like, you see the constant injuries that come from the turf. You see the ankles rolling 360 degrees. Look at Cam Scatterable, bro. Look at Cam Scatterable. Wait, no, he got injured when we were away. I take that back. Look at Malik Neighbors. Tore his ACL. Because the turf, okay, for all my non-sports players out there, grass and turf react completely differently when you're landing. One kind of cushions you, and the other one's just like stiff as a rock. It like kind of holds your foot in there, and I'm sure you can guess which one is which. I'm sure, without saying it, turf is obviously worse, and it kind of holds your foot, because the way turf works, right? It's artificial grass. It's essentially plastic grass, a little kind of like, my mom called them turf turds, essentially like little pieces of rubber inside of the turf, and that's what kind of gives it like the I guess thickness for you to be able to run on it. In comparison to grass, which you all know is moldable and it moves and it kind of cushions your foot, so you're not rupturing your ACL every single time you land and threatening to blow out your knee, which happens to you, by the way. It didn't happen yet this season, but I'm sure it's going to happen next season at some point because MetLife is just too cheap to switch to grass, especially with the World Cup coming. Hello, shouldn't we have grass for those quality soccer players? Because the final is at MetLife. That's going to be horrible, by the way. That's going to go over horrifically. It's going to go over like a bull in a china shop, Like, the traffic's going to be horrible. All these like people are going to come in from other countries, and they'll be like, oh, like America's like, oh yeah, we want to be represented by MetLife Stadium. That's what we want to represent America. God. Ugh, that dumpster of a stadium. Jesus. The parking's horrible there. The weather. The food isn't even good, too, dude. I got a hot dog. They messed up a hot dog, dude. How do you mess up a hot dog? Oh, God. Yes, I got a hot dog, some peanuts. I'm trying to stay healthy. Trying to stay skinny. And a Diet Pepsi. Because I didn't have Coke. Another issue. Let's fix that before the World Cup comes over. Let's get some Diet Coke. Because everyone knows Diet Coke is better than Diet Pepsi. All right. That's just... You can fight me on that later. Call in and fight me about that. We got to fix that before World Cup comes in. And yeah, I mean, the Giants, for the future, our 10-year plan, so to say. Essentially, we're kind of sleeping house. I'm not gonna lie. Like we're gonna sleep house. We're gonna get rid of Mike Kafka. We're gonna get rid. We got rid of Shane Bowen. Thank God. Let's get rid of all the owners. Ryan Merritt, like, dude, he's just afraid to spend money at this point. Like, he's just afraid to do anything smart. I'm convinced that he just wants the team to fail sometimes because he's just making the stupidest decisions I've ever seen. Oh, yeah, let's extend Darius Slayton because he's a star. He's the future of our team, isn't he? No! He can't catch anything. God, dude. He's just, like, some of the things they do just hurts my brain sometimes, man. Yeah, we're sleeping house next year. We're gonna get a new coach who's gonna hopefully change the grit and the moxie in the what's the word? I'm drawing a blank right now. It's gonna change what the Giants are known for. Our identity. There we go. Let's start getting an identity. My dad always tells me about the Giants back in the day when we were just like a smash mouth football team. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pound your face into the dirt. Or we're going to beat you with brute force. Where'd that go? Huh? Now we're walking our routes. And our O-line's just getting tossed around like rag dolls. What happened to that, huh? What happened to that smash-mouth, gridiron kind of Giants? I want to see that, man. I want to see entertaining football. It's just entertaining football. It's just boring. It's hopeless sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm watching the game, like, is there any hope for the team? But I remind myself, positive Connor. Yes, there is hope for the team. And it's going to be run through Jaxson Dart and Cam Scatterable. All right, going to go to a quick break. gonna take playing the game differently, and it's gonna take a lot of leadership too. I think Emil Forsberg is gonna be big in that locker room because obviously we're gonna have a lot of new players coming in. We have what's his face, Cade Cowell that just got signed, and who was the other kid? I have it somewhere on here. Justin Che. I mean, those are two players that are coming from big leagues that aren't really gonna know the style. They're not gonna know really how to play in this league. Like, what's the talent level? Who are these players? What do they do? What is each team known for? It's gonna take a while. And I feel like a lot of that's gonna have to come down to Emil Forsberg, Choupo-Moting really leading the team here and taking charge. Because I feel like last year there was no charge. You didn't see leadership throughout the team. You didn't like. When games got tough near the end, you didn't see them taking charge. You saw them kind of sitting back and like, all right, someone else will figure it out for me. Instead of something like, no, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to win this game. Here's what we're going to score the next goal.
Yeah.
I feel like this new coach, he knows how to win. He's coming off a winning season with Redbulls too, which is a big factor. Coming off a winning season, you're going to be riding the hot hand, and that should translate hopefully to the players on this team. I feel like it's going to take a second because, it's kind of like in the back of your mind, like, all right, this guy's only refereed the kids or coached the kids, our second team. I think it's going to take him a while to get some credibility and for the players to really buy into what he's saying. But he also knows the second team. He knows what players do what. He knows who's good at what and who's bad at what and who to bring up in certain situations and who to sign to the first team contract,
Mm-hmm.
We have the captain of Redbulls too. Do you know the captain of the Redbulls too? I forgot. The kid's got like a curly hair. He was like the center fielder and whatnot. He was great. I think he's going to be signed to the first team soon. I think he might actually be our starting center fielder.
I mean, yeah, it'd be a bit of a coincidence if he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be a coincidence because you have the coach of the second team here. Of course, he's going to want to bring up players that he knows that he's worked with. He's comfortable with them.
Yeah, knows how they play and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, you're starting to get it now. I see it.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. I just want to say one more thing.
All right.
Mom, Dad, I know you guys are listening. Love you too. Connie, you guys are doing great. Keep it up.
Thank you. All right, bye.
All right.
That was my little brother, for anyone that was wondering, if you couldn't tell. Yeah. Sorry. Cough there. Moving on to the Redbulls right now. This is a new team. It's a new team. It's going to be a completely new feel to the team. It's going to be a completely new way of running the team. I think our style will still be there. I think that energy drink soccer that we're known for is definitely going to be there. I think we're definitely going to be chasing down every ball we can. And I think that might be honestly a little bit more amplified from what it was last season. Because last season, we were kind of complacent, sitting back and letting them come to us, which worked in the season before, like 2 seasons ago. Yeah, that worked. We kind of capitalized on bringing them essentially into our trap. We essentially set up in the midfield. We would let them handle it in the back, let the defenders play around with it, whatnot, look for openings. But we essentially kind of give them an opening and then crash in on it 2v1, then counterattack, which sounds like it would work if you had the players to do it. Now we don't. We got rid of Peter Stroud, Felipe Cabrillo. I can't say his name. We got rid of him too. Another veteran, by the way. So now we have a lot of moxie lost in the midfield. We don't know how good Cameron Harper's going to be. We don't know how he's going to perform after being injured yet again. We know how he's going to come out. Is he going to be the same passionate player? We know Daniel Edelman is. We know Edelman's got that heart to him. I like Daniel Edelman. Like when him and Cameron Harper on the field together, nothing gets through our midfield. Our midfield is solid. We have a wall in the midfield when they're in there, especially with Forsberg kind of controlling that, and leading it. Because for all my non-soccer fans out there, it's a lot more complicated than I think people are willing to give it credit for, which is fine. Some people just aren't soccer fans. That's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. You don't have to like every sport. I'm not asking you to. But give it a shot. I think the Redbulls are the best team ever. But that's fine. That's just me. But a lot more thought goes into it than I think is recognized, especially in America. Especially in America. I was looking on ESPN the other day, And they have like every other league besides MLS on there. Can we get some respect on MLS's name? Thank you very much. Like, dude, we bring in a lot more revenue than like the G League does. Okay, so let's chillax. And dude, I don't know if, for all the listeners right now who have never been just to a professional soccer game in general, it is the greatest fan experience out there, and I am on that hill till I die. It is literally if you want a good fan experience, you have to go see a Redbulls game, specifically. That's the best. You have a section of a stadium that's designated for people to sing and chant the entire game and bang drums and play instruments. I'm not lying. The entire 90-minute match, and also stoppage time and extra time and overtime and PK shootouts if that's what it comes to. It is, and they have tifos. They have banners that they raise. In the relationship, you gotta understand, right? All these other sports teams, we love our fan base, yada, yada, yada. The soccer teams are ran through the fan base. At the end of games, the players, they go up, they thank the Viking. That's what they're called, the Viking Army. They go up, they thank the Viking Army. On the live right now, my grandma just told me about the time that we did the wave around the entire stadium. That was so much fun. I mean, actually, the wave, I like the wave. I think the wave is a great thing in sports. I mean, yeah, you're there to watch a game, but like, opposing fans and home fans come together with the wave, and it looks so cool when it goes around the entire stadium. Like, there's no better feeling of accomplishment to when it goes around the entire stadium. You're like, yeah, it worked. Which I love. I love when that happens. I think it's so funny too when like it stops halfway through because everyone's like, you kidding me, bro? But yeah, we were at an Orlando game. I think it was an Orlando game that we went to. We did the wave. We were getting shellacked that game, and it was boring. That some people don't like the wave because it's like, all right, the team is playing so bad that you'd rather be doing something else, which is true. Like typically when the wave is going on, it's because like the team is not playing too good. Which I mean, yeah, that was the Redbulls at that point. We kind of stunk. No bueno. But I like the wave. I think it's good. What was I even talking about? My gosh. Let's just look at my paper. I totally forgot what I was talking about. I have the memory of a goldfish. All right. Yeah, let's talk about the juicy stuff that everyone wants to know about. Oh, right, I was talking about the fan experience. Yeah, go to Redbulls games. It's the most fun you'll ever. If you want, go to Redbulls games. I forgot I can't do a calls to action. If you would like to go to Redbulls games, it is the best fan experience. All right. Big moves by the Redbulls, right? Got rid of Schwartz and Schneider. That was our head of sport and our head coach. I liked Sandro Schwartz. I'm not going to lie. I don't think releasing him was the right play. I really don't think so. We brought in Michael Bradley, who was, like I was saying before, the caller, was the head of the Rebels 2 team, the coach of that team. And he did good. Listen, he's a good coach. I'll break him down in a second, kind of like what his rapport is and what he's done before this. But I really like Sandro Schwartz. He was such a good coach, man. Like, honestly, I think the reason we got to the MLS Cup 2 years ago was because of him. It was a lot to do of him because he just outcoached other teams. You saw him. We went against Nashville or Columbus. Either Nashville or Columbus in the first round of that. We were supposed to get swept. We did the exact opposite. We smoked them. Yes, it went to PK, so we won. And I think that was really because Sandro Schwartz knew the team, knew how to get around their play style too. He knew strengths and weaknesses, and he knows how to exploit them. And that's what I think I'm gonna miss the most about him. I mean, obviously, I don't know how Michael Bradley's gonna be yet. He's very soccer minded, which is good. Obviously, it's a soccer team, but right now, I think Sandro Schwartz is the coach of the Red Bull. Should have been the coach of the Red Bulls. I don't think releasing him was a smart idea. But we'll see. I mean, there's nothing we could do about it. It's not like we can get him back. It's not like we're going to be able to be like, hey, Sandro! Hey, get back over here. Come back to the Red Bull. We can't do that, Not yet. He's going on to bigger and better things. Just fine. Schneider can get lost. Schneider's stupid. Get lost. Go away. Be gone. All right. Bring it in. Michael Bradley and Julian de Guzman. Guzman? I don't know how to say his name. As soon as he gets here, Guzzi, I'm just going to call him Guzzi, all right? Guzzi, he promised the fans a fresh beginning, fresh start. He's like, listen, this is going to be a new team. You're going to see new people will be, oh my gosh, be held accountable. There's going to be a new identity to the team. We're going to be sweeping house, essentially, which they did. They got rid of a lot of players, which I'll get to in a second. And honestly, I like it. You know, I like the mentality of we're going to find a way to win. Essentially, that's what he's saying. We're going to find a way to win. We're going to make moves. We're going to change things. We're going to move players around and pick players up because we want to win. And that's kind of what we needed. Not from Schwartz, but from Schneider, head of sport. He wasn't making moves. He wasn't putting the hammer down where he needed to, you know. I think that's just a big no in the sports world, especially for the Red Bulls, which is a team who have been trashed on and still trashed on. Like, oh, NYCFC, we have a cup. You have a COVID cup, buddy. Let me trash on NYCFC for a little bit. Our rivals, by the way. Y'all ain't that good. Oh, you made the playoffs last year? That's cool. We knocked you out of the playoffs the year before that, and we went to MLS Cup. You didn't make the playoffs last year. Do I care? We both got the same outcome from it. You didn't win anything. We didn't win anything. Cry me a river. Cry blue, bleed red, baby. Let's go. New York will always be red. And the thing is, too, let's debunk this MLS Cup that they have. Y'all got a pity cup. That's what I like to call it, the pity cup, because you won during COVID, which is, everyone knows, anything won during COVID doesn't really count. All right? You were going against the Timbers team that was, they had like half of their starters. Right? No fans in the stadium, so home field advantage was non-existent, right? Even though Timbers got home field advantage. And you guys played mid, but they were playing their third, second string guys, so cry me a river about it. We have more trophies altogether, more supporter shields, more cup wins, everything. All right, so you can hush up, little buddy. Where's your stadium? You're homeless. All right, you little Smurfs. All right. Now that's over with. I'll be posting that later. Back to the Red Bulls. Let's break down this coach. All right. Michael Bradley. Hold on. I got to find where I pull that stuff down. Just coach Red Bulls to a cup win. Perfect. We love that. He did the best he could. Literally. He achieved all that he could last season, so that's great. He started with the Metro Stars, which for everyone who doesn't know was Red Bulls before the Red Bulls. That was the New York soccer team before they were bought out by Red Bulls. Metro Stars is like the OG team. If you know Metro Stars, you're a real fan. All right? You're a real fan. Had all the greats on that team. All the greats. So he started at the Metro Stars at 16 out of the MLS Super Draft. That's really good. Being drafted onto the MLS at 16, real good. That's like Julian Hall. Julian Hall is doing great right now, too. Played nearly 600 pro matches in MLS, Netherlands, Italy, Germany, and England. Deutschland. So he's got experience. He's got so much experience. He knows the game of soccer, right? He came back to lead Toronto FC, of course, to win the Supporters Shield and Canadian Championships, multiple, that's impressive. You know, he's a good soccer player. The thing is about him, he was always very hot-headed, you know, which I kind of like personally. I kind of like that, especially coming off of Sandro Schwartz too. I've been saying his name wrong. Oh my gosh, Sandro Schwartz, not Sandro. Sandro Schwartz. More spicy than Sandro. But Sandro Schwartz also was a hothead. Me and my brother would joke all the time when we were watching the games. We're like, we need to have a Sandro Schwartz cam because his reactions were the funniest thing. We would go to the games and just watch him lose his mind. It was oh my god, it's great. I hope Michael Bradley's like this. I don't think he is. He's more of the coach does like the coach pose where he like strokes his chin. He's like, how am I going to beat this team? Instead of losing his mind at the referees, which is just so much more entertaining. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he is. He has 151 U.S. men's team caps, which is experience. That's experience at the Wazoo. Comfortability. Oh my gosh, I can't speak English, by the way. Apparently, that shows that he's comfortable. Like we know this guy could play. Moving on. His dad was one of the greatest coaches of all time. You know, his dad coming out of the family like that, growing up around an insanely good coach, you learn so much. You know, he has essentially what I'm trying to say. He has both sides down pat. You know, I know I was talking about how I want Sandro Schwartz as the coach, but Michael Bradley is also good. Contradicting myself, I know. Michael Bradley has both sides of coaching and playing solidified. He's got experience, he has knowledge, and he has confidence in it. We saw that. We've seen that. We're going to see that. We're going to see, hopefully, a new style of play. Either we're going to go back definitely to that energy drink soccer or just chasing every ball we can see. There's only one ball. Who am I kidding? Chasing the ball. Every ball we can see. Soccer's now played with 3 balls, apparently, according to me. But we saw that with the second team and the way they played. And if he's adopting the same mentality, we don't know, but I think this is how it's going to go. If he's adopting the same mentality onto the first team, it's going to be a lot of chasing the ball around, trapping players in corners, double teaming. And, it's big risk, big reward. There's going to be times where we're going to get beat down the sideline. They're going to be able to pick apart our defense and score goals. It's going to happen if we play that style of soccer. We've seen that in the past. We've seen that in the past, and it works from time to time, for the other team. Like, sometimes it works. But most of the time when you trap players, they get flustered, It's a lot easier to just kind of run at someone and scare them than do something with the ball. I know, like the professional league, they got it down pat. They know what they're gonna do with the ball before they even get it. I know that. All right, but it's a lot more of a pressure standpoint when you're getting chased at by 2 dudes sprinting at you who are both like 5'9". I mean, soccer players. And that style of soccer, it works for some teams and it's worked for us in the past. And I think a coach that knows that style of soccer, because essentially, when we were playing that style of soccer with the first team, you want the second team to kind of match that, so you could pull up players from that second team, and they already know the system. They already know how that system works. They know how to fit in. They know where to go. They know when to pressure. They know how fast they gotta run to get the ball. They have that mindset of attack. And I think bringing that back in, especially with a Rebels 2 team, like I've been saying, who've been playing like that. They have been playing that attack. They've been playing that run towards the ball, do everything to win the ball, put your body on the line. Playing like that, then bringing that coach, then eventually who's going to bring in those players, is going to work. It's going to work because, yes, we got rid of a lot of players. We got rid of a lot of players. We got rid of Kyle Duncan. We got rid of Sean Nealis. We got rid of Lewis Morgan, Carlos Cornell. We're all there during the energy drink soccer era. By the way, Lewis Morgan, God, that one's gonna hurt. Carlos Cornell's gonna hurt. But we signed back AJ Marcucci today. That was announced today, this morning. We signed back AJ Marcucci, which I like. I really like him. He busted up his knee, but I really like him. We also just got a new goalkeeper in the MLS Super Draft for the second team. Just a little FYI. And we signed back Tim Parker, who I like. Who's hit or miss also. Whatever. Moving back. We have players who are in the energy drink soccer phase that are now leaving, which is going to hurt us for the future. It's going the beginning of the next season is going to be rough. It is going to be rough. It's going to take us it's going to take us a while to find games, but this is the perfect time to do so. The MLS is changing the schedule to fit the rest of the world, essentially, right? We're going to be playing more games with a major break in the middle of it for MLS for World Cup. Right? We're going to be playing, I think it's like 23 games in the first half, World Cup break, and then you have like 15 games after that. That's a lot of games. It's more games. It's more time for us to figure it out. What's going to happen? We're probably going to stink for the first half of the season. It's going to be a really rough go. We're going to have to find our way. But then come the World Cup break, we're going to be able to sit back. We're like, okay, what's working? What's not? Who do we have to move? Who do we have to pick up? It's also going to be good, too, if we have injuries, which will happen. Players get injured. It's going to happen. When players get injured, they're going to have that big break. It's like a month or 2, I think. Maybe less, probably more like a month, honestly, to get healthy, to figure out what's going to work for the next season, rewatch tape, Rewatch tape, stay conditioned, hopefully, not get too fat, because all seasons do that to people. We all saw Juan Soto at the beginning of the year, all right? And the break is going to help. And then the second half of the season is really where we're going to see if we're good or not. We're really going to see, okay, is Mike Brown working? Is his mentality working? Is his new identity working? Is his style of play working again? Just because it worked in the past does not mean it's going to work in the future. And that's what scares me. You know, it's going to be that set because the first half of the season, like I was saying, we're going to be figuring stuff out. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while with new players coming in, especially in like the offseason too. You know, new players coming in who are not used to this system of play. They're coming from big name teams. You know, we got Justin Che, started at 21 years old, homegrown defenseman, homegrown DC United, right? Played good, went on loan to Bayern, TSG, Hoffenheim, Brøndby, started U20 World Cup for America. Coming from big teams who are not playing like this, really. Kate Cowell, 20 years old, 22 years old, is a winger striker. I don't know what they're going to do on the little post they made. It said he's like versatile winger, something like that. We got him from Chivas. Great team. Big team. We all know Chivas, right? Started homegrown San Jose for 2020 to 2023. 10 goals, 15 assists, and 104 regular season games with San Jose. Chivas, 12 goals, 5 assists, and 69 matches. Haha, nice. 11 U.S. caps played in the 2023 U20 World Cup, right? 2 players coming from pretty big teams, pretty big leagues. You know, it's gonna take getting used to. You know, it's different style of play in different leagues, and that we see that every time we're bringing a new player. It takes a while for them to get their feet underneath them. Not Forsberg though. Forsberg and Choupo-Moting, they're just that good to where they just fit in perfectly because they're just gods among us. You know, they're just hymns. You know, it's gonna take a while, but I think as a fan base, we have to take time. We have to understand it's gonna stink in the beginning. We're going to have hope. We're going to come into it hoping that they're amazing. Obviously, we're blind fan bases, We're a blind fan base, come on. We know ourselves. We're Redbulls fans. We're used to disappointment, but we always hope for the best. Else is going to happen again. But, honestly, I have hope. I have hope for the next 4 or 5 years we will win a cup. I said it. We're all thinking it. I said it. I put it into words. All right? That's my hot take for the day, I guess. And we are back! 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair. This is Connor Napsel with Lifting the Trophy. The best sports show in the world. Sports radio show in the world. Alright, we're going to start talking Devils Yankees right now. Yankees, I'm not going to lie, I don't have too much on. Because the Yankees aren't doing anything. They're just sitting here twiddling their thumbs. Like, oh yeah, we're just going to wait for someone to come to us. Sign Cody Bellinger. Dude, The Yankees oh yeah, we wanna win a championship. No, you don't. You're not making moves. You're not making moves. You're not doing anything. All the other teams in our division are making moves. Everyone else besides us is doing stuff, bringing people in, signing players, getting rid of players who don't need to be on the team anymore. Yeah, we got rid of Devin Williams. Thank God. Mets can go deal with him now. Luke Weaver. Mets can deal with him now. Luke Weaver was great 2 years ago on the World Series run. Don't know what happened last year. He just got washed, I guess. I don't know. But I'm glad they got rid of him. I'm not going to lie. Of Devin Williams, sorry. Okay. Here's something I don't understand, right? People be like, oh yeah, it's the player's fault. They're not playing that good. No. It is Steinbrenner. You know what? Let me give you a crazy stat right now. Prepare yourself for this. Right? We are the fourth most valuable sports team according to Forbes. The 4th most valuable team according to Forbes, and there is no cap on the salary we can pay these people. The Dodgers, by the way, are ranked 25th. 25th, and they're outbidding us for everything. That is unacceptable. 4th most valuable team. Essentially, that means that we have the 4th most money to spend, and we're not. We have an owner who's too afraid to pull out the wallet when we should be. We have Judge in his prime. We have Garrett Cole in his prime. Now we have Cam Schlittler going into his prime. These are people who are not going to be great forever. There is a window that is closing. We don't know how much longer Judge has to be great. We don't know how much longer he's going to keep setting records and winning MVPs. We see that Garrett Cole's body is now starting to shut down. He's getting injured. Tommy John surgery is a lot to come back from. That changes pitchers. We need to make investments now instead of saying, oh yeah, we'll do it later. Oh yeah, we'll do it next season. No. Now is the time. We don't have time. We need to put rings on fingers. We need to lift a World Series. We need to lift a trophy. I'm tired of waiting around as a Yankees fan, seeing everyone else making moves, and we're not. The Mets are doing more than us. Granted, they're getting rid of all their players. But still, the point is, it's like addition by subtraction for them. They're making moves. They're getting rid of pieces that don't fit. Why can't we do that? What's taking us so long? All right, last season we got McMahon, a good third baseman. Yeah, that's about it. We re-signed oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. We re-signed one position player. That's all we've done. We re-signed Blackburn for $2 million. That's like, okay, it's like pennies, dude. That's literally like pennies. We are the biggest franchise. Everybody knows and hates the Yankees. We need to prove ourselves. We need to bring back the Yankee dominance in the market. We need to start being like, okay, we can get whatever player we want. We can't right now. We can't even sign Cody Bellinger. People are talking, oh yeah, let Cody Bellinger go. No, bring him back. He's a proven asset for us. When Judge, when Stanton, when Grisham, Dominguez, when they weren't pulling up big, when Ben Rice wasn't pulling up big, Cody Bellinger was. Every time he's at bat, there's a chance for a base hit. Every time he steps up to that plate, there is a good chance he's getting on base. It's a base hit. It's a walk. It's always a possibility with him. We can't say that about every player. You know, you really can't say that about every player. Judge, you can. You say it about Judge. Judge will hit a dinger with his eyes closed. He's so good, Judge probably doesn't even have to look at the ball to hit it out the park. He could blow on and that thing is gone. But I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of sitting here checking Instagram, checking ESPN. Hey, Yankees, what are we going to do, man? Like, clock's ticking. Players aren't going to be there forever. And another thing, too, we need to establish a line to Japan. We need to get Japanese players here so we can get more later, right? You see what the Dodgers are doing. They're doing it in front of our own eyes. They're becoming the new Yankees. It started with Shohei Ohtani. Then they got Yamamoto. They're taking, because there's really good talent in Japan. You know, they have great baseball players there. And when Japanese players are looking at teams over here, they're like, okay, you know, there's this team, the Dodgers. There's already Japanese players on there, so I'm not going to feel alone. I'm not going to need to really learn English as quickly, you know. I'll have people who understand my culture and my language, and I'm going to have players on the team who play similar to me, because it's a different style, you know, two different styles. Japan and America, you know, wherever you go, it's going to be a different style. The Yankees need to start doing that, because there is some serious talent. There is some serious talent over there. And the fact that we're not searching for that and we're not making offers and trying to get a line, a direct trade route, essentially, from America to Japan, or Japan to America, is unacceptable at this point too, because now it shows that we're not invested. We're not thinking long term, and we're not thinking short term. So what term are we thinking? There's no terms that we're thinking on right now. Midterms? I just had those. Midterms? Like, that's not even a thing. Long term, short term. I don't understand why we can't make moves. I don't understand what God. Like, Steinbrenners have been essential, a massive part of the Yankees for ages, you know? It's constantly been, oh yeah, Steinbrenner family, Yankees, they control the market. Not anymore. We could dominate. We got outbid for Juan Soto by the Mets. Steve Cohen. Oh, you know, he's the richest person or richest owner in baseball. Yeah, you're not, okay? Cry about it. You're not. Step down, little bro. Mets are little brother. Sorry. Mets will always be little brother to the Yankees. That's always it. Look, I'm wearing a Yankees hat right now. I was going to flip my hat around, but I have headphones on. So listen, I don't have much on the Yankees besides complaints about how we're not doing stuff. And that's not going to change until we make moves. And I don't know what we're waiting for. I don't know what the hold of what. Are we just going to sit here and watch? Get some popcorn, guys, because they're not doing anything. It's going to be a movie. Well, we're not the main character. We're not even the side piece. We're an extra. We're an extra. We're not even getting paid. Non-union, non-paid, no screen time extra. You know who's the lead in the movie? The Dodgers. Dodgers are leads in the movie. I can't have it anymore. I don't like the Dodgers. Blue Jays too. They're making moves. Cubs, they're making moves. Hello? Can we stop letting our rivals just spend money? And we're not? At least put in a bid. A considerable bid. Like he said, I'm going to cry. Real tears. At night. To sleep. Because the Yankees can't the Yankees can't do anything. Steinbrenner, wake up. Cashman, hello? Your name literally has cash in it. Start spending some. The irony cannot write itself anymore. I'm starting to sweat because I'm getting so heated right now. I have to switch. I have to move on. God, I if you want to call in about the Yankees, you can. 973-655-4256. Because if you have a point about them, I would love to hear it if you want. Because I can't do any calls to action, so I have to say if you want. Moving on. A little more positive now. The Devils, who are playing tonight, I think. I hope they're playing tonight. Because I want to watch the Devils. I love hockey. I think hockey's the best sport to watch. I mean, you got physicality. I mean, any second someone could just get slammed. And you drop what other sport besides like UFC or boxing can you just drop the gloves? I mean, come on, that's awesome. Also, too, the skill it takes, dude. Because, like, you grow up running around. You don't grow up, like, skating. Well, I mean, some people do. Like, you're on your feet most of the day, not on ice skates, you know? I think it's just, like, the pace they play at, I think is awesome. I think you could score a goal at any time, too, which I think is awesome. I think that's sick. The fact that, like, any second could be another goal, I think is awesome. But the Devils, I love the Devils. Oh, God, this season, too, especially. Because we started off hot. We were a wagon, bro. We were a wagon. You know, we were dominant, top of the league. No one could touch us. We were literally untouchable. Untouchable. You know, and then Avalanche came around. They're better than us. I'll give it to you. Yeah, Avs are better. All right, we can all admit it. You know what I mean? In the beginning of the season. Now, everyone gets injured. Everyone got injured. Okay, great. What are you going to do about it? You can't stop injuries. Or can you, Jack Hughes? Do we have to put this guy in bubble wrap now? Do we have to hold this guy's hand everywhere it goes, literally, so he doesn't cut it? For all my viewers, listeners, who aren't understanding what went on, Jack Hughes, our star forward, cut his hand at a steakhouse. The whole team was out to a steakhouse. He cut his hand on a glass. Really? Really? Like, are we kidding me? Like, are you got to be kidding. Oh, I can't have anything nice. We can't have anything nice. We literally have to put this guy in bubble wrap. He should be wearing his pads and his gloves and his skates 24/7. Because he can't get injured when he's in those. Why not just put a force field around him? You know those big hamster balls that people could go in? Put him in that. Put him in that. Give him an oxygen tank. Just keep him there from game to game. So he doesn't cut his hand again. Eating dinner. Literally. One of the most human things that we know how to do is eat dinner. And you hurt yourself. No, I've never hurt. I literally, in my 19 beautiful years of being alive, I have never heard of someone getting injured eating dinner. Are you kidding? Like, dude. You just, like, they just want us to lose. I swear to God, the script. They're getting too creative with the script now, okay? NFL writers, let's settle down. Let's give the Devils a cup. How about that? How about writing the Devils into a Stanley Cup? I'm cool with that. Not opposed to that, right? But, you know, he came back, though. That's why I'm not too mad right now. I know I was just screaming my face off, but that's just because I'm Italian. You know, I get loud. But he's back, you know. We have Brett Pesce back. By the way, Brett Pesce, he was missed, too. Major. Because our defense was in shambles, man. Our defense was in shambles. We couldn't do anything. You know, we couldn't stop attack. Like, we had Dougie Hamilton playing like he's an overgrown baby. Dougie Hamilton plays with 2 brain cells. Like, he was like Kevin Ball. like 2 or 3 years ago. That guy was massive. Big dude. Strong. Fought like a wimp. Couldn't lay a hit to save his life. Played stupid. Stupid. We got Dougie Hamilton. Oh, he's a veteran. Keep him on the team. We got other veterans. All right, we got other veterans. Brendan Dillon. Who, by the way, Brendan Dillon. Can we start chalking him better? Like, you're throwing fists like you're blind, dude. He's getting beaten every fight. Like, what happened to the Devils being a tough team? Granted, listen, 3 years ago, we were getting shoved around like we were, 3 years old. That's wrong. Nah, we're not shoving around 3-year-olds around here. But, like, we weren't a hard team back then. We weren't. We were not considered a hard team. Now I think we're getting tough. We're getting some grit now. Yeah. We're getting our mojo back, our moxie back. Even like Luke, Brat, just for Brat. I saw him last night or 2 nights ago laying down hits. I was like, dude, what? You're laying down a hit? I'm like, you're like my height, bro. You're like 5'10". I don't know what you're doing, but I'll take it. Round of applause. Even if our small players are throwing down hits, it's getting good. But if only someone alive, old there, that's what you made said. If only we got all three brothers. Yeah, I know. Quinn Hughes, dude. Ironically, me and him, we went to a Devils game, and my other sweet man Andrew and our friend Brandon. We went to a Devils game. This was the Devils where we went against Maple Leafs or the Lightning. The Lightning, yeah, Tampa Bay Lightning. And we were just getting shellacked, 8-4, whatever. And the guy next to us, he was like, "Sign Quinn!" Like, they scored a goal, and he was like, "Sign Quinn!" And I thought that was the funniest thing. Because, like, Quinn Hughes, by the way, for all my listeners who do not know, there are three brothers, Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, and Quinn Hughes. We have Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes. We wanted Quinn Hughes. He went to the Minnesota Wild. Great. Another trash team taking a good player. Like, why are they trying to be good? Why are they trying to be good? Stop. Like, stop trying to be good. Just give us all the good players, please. Like, come on. What are you doing? But, so yeah, we didn't get Quinn Hughes, which stinks. But we got our good players back. And I think having Jack Hughes back, Pesci back, Luga Laffin, whatever his name is, Kovacevic, he's coming back. Oh, Gritsuk. Gritsuk is back, too. He's good. I like that kid. You feel his energy. You feel Gritsuk's energy. He's young. He's a young kid. First year on the team. I like him. And the thing is, too, I think our biggest strength right now is our goaltending. There was the one game where Markey, it was actually the Tampa Bay game that I went to. That game, he just got lit up. Oh, my God, he played horrifically. And he got pulled after, like, 10 minutes. That was embarrassing. That was pretty embarrassing, I won't lie. Then we put in Jake Allen. Whew, stud. Hello. Stud alert. Stud alert. My brother is... He's on top of the game. And the other night, who they go against? Utah Mammoth. Oh, he was standing on his head, man. He was standing on his head. He had like 3 or 4 saves that I was in awe of. Last night, too, he played great last night. But Luukkonen on the Sabres, oh my God, he robbed us of 3 goals. I will not lie. I was looking at Instagram comments afterwards. They're all like, "Oh, the Devils don't know how to play. Like, what happened? The Devils stink." I'm like, no, this was a goal. Like, we got good quality shots. Granted, we missed a goal a few times, but it's hard to score. You know what I mean? But this goal, he robbed Gritsuk wide open net. Just amazing, beautiful. Like, he stretched out, glove catch. It was insane. I was in awe. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good save when the biggest hater of any other team besides the Devils like, yeah, that was a really good save. I had to admit it. You know what I mean? I had to be like, yeah, that was that was pretty impressive. But hey, all I'm gonna say is Jacob Markstrom, Markey, and Allen both make those saves too. So we got him too. Haha. But I like the way the Devils are going. I think give it a few more games to find our rhythm back. I mean, Jack Hughes immediately found his rhythm. He made such a difference last night, 2 nights ago, whenever it was. Like, he genuinely made such a difference. And it was so, like, we saw it. It was so clear. Instantly, like, 10 minutes in, he scores. 10 minutes in, he scores. Yeah. I mean, immediately going back in, And there's that whole controversy going around. Oh, because the Devils are really bad when all of our players are injured. Everyone's like, your team shouldn't be center. Like, your team shouldn't be bad when your stars aren't healthy. Yeah, it should. Yeah, your team should be bad when your star players are not good. They're your star players for a reason. Me as a fan, I want to know I got my money's worth. I want to know that, yeah, I spent money in the right spots where my good players are my good players for a reason. They should be not carrying the team, but they should be scoring. They should be your primary goal scorers. Dog, like, can we think? I get so mad when people say that. People like, oh, the Devils, really bad roster construction. No, great roster construction. Bad on the training staff for letting our players get injured. Our players are made out of glass. Cody Glass, play on words. One of our team members is Cody Glass, but it's the training staff's fault, and. During the break to where, not the break, the point where everyone was injured, yes, we were playing bad. Everyone was like, we need to make moves. Here's the issue why we could not, to all the fans, all the Devils fans, the proud, the mighty, the few, right? To everyone who's a Devils fan, the issue that we were running into constantly, we have 14 players with NTC or NMCs, no trade clause or no movement clauses. That essentially means that you cannot do these players are here to stay. 14 players that we could not do anything with. That's like half a team, dude. More than half a team. Like, yeah, we're stuck with what we got, essentially, because our brain-dead owner thought, oh yeah, this is a great idea. Let's give all of the players no trade and no movement clause, so even if they play bad, we can't do anything about it. Like, because there's this thing. When you're essentially, okay, it's called a contract year, right? It's terms used a lot in football. When you are assigned to a contract and you have a few years like secured, there's a few years, okay, I'm secured. I'm definitely staying for this team for like 3 or 4 years. For like some players think, okay, I'm good. I don't have to like really prove anything, If you're going up to free agency the next year, the next season, in the off season, you're thinking to yourself, all right, I got something to prove. I really got to show off. I got to like try harder, essentially, right? When you have 14 guys, then in the back of their mind, they're like, yo, no matter what I do, I'm good. Of course they're not going to give it their all if they're not being pushed, If they don't have that dog mentality, if they don't have that I want to win at all costs mentality, which some of them do. Yeah, some of them do. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Some of them do. They're not going to play to their fullest extent. Sometimes players are in it for the money, and that enrages me. I'm like, why are you playing this sport if you don't want to win? Look at the Giants right now. Like, yeah, they stink. They're no good. But some of the players are still playing with heart. Most of them aren't. Some of them still are. And you see it, You can see on the Devils who's playing with heart. You can see Jack Hughes flying up and down the ice just for Brat, doing everything he can to score. You see Brett Pesce pouring his body on the line. This man takes pelts. He blocks so many shots with his body, Like, you see Jake Allen putting it all out there. Who else? Brendan Dillon, laying down hits. Granted, he's not the best player, but he tries. It's a thing. Gritzuk is good. Gritzuk, he's flying up and down the ice. He's making things happen. He's giving the team a chance to win. Players need to start giving the team chances to win. We're not trapping them in a forecheck as much as we did in the beginning of the year. We had a great forecheck in the beginning of the year. Now we don't. Now we're just sitting back, letting them do whatever they want in the puck. Another thing is, too, who's cut, like, we'll hold. We're playing a tight point, right? A tight point is essentially where you kind of have all your players on defense, and essentially in front of the net, which doesn't really make sense. Like, all your players are kind of like bunched in front of the net, and you kind of like pressure on the outside, like perimeter of like this imaginary circle around the net, right? Let's put it that way. We're letting people just sit with the puck at the top, at the point, which essentially is like, from my non-hockey knowledgeable people, imagine there's a big circle around the net. The front of that, facing the net, that's the point, right? That's a slot, too. 2 different terms for that. Or one of the slots. But we're letting people sit up there. We're letting them whip it. We're letting them whip it in. Of course, they're gonna score a lot of goals when you're letting them sit there, do whatever they want. Like pucks are gonna get through. Pucks are gonna get deflected. Jake Allen can't see. Jacob Markstrom cannot see. That's how you beat good teams. You take away the goalie's vision. The goalie can't save what he can't see. That's how he beat the Mammoth. That's how he beat the Golden Knights the other night. Took away the goalie's ability to see. Because we have 6'5" Brendan Dillon. No, he's not a forward. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Timo Meyer, Nico Hischier, one of the two. Sitting in front of the goalie, net battles. Blocking the goalie, deflecting pucks onto the net, and making stuff happen. That's what we're missing on the team right now. We are not making goals happen, which is so hard to do sometimes. Teams need to have like a certain oomph to them to make goals happen, make wins happen. And right now, I'm not seeing that from the Devils at all. I'm not seeing the drives to the net. I'm not seeing the dirty, greasy goals, which you need. You need those dirty, greasy goals because you can't be known as a team who just shoots around the perimeter and has one star player who can do it all. You need those players getting in the front of the net, making stuff happen. I think until we start doing that, the Devils are just gonna remain a mediocre team who have a potential to be good. And we're, as a fan base, we cannot be okay with that. We cannot be stagnant. We cannot accept that. Well, that is all for me this week. I was on till 7, so we're at 6:59. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in this week. If you would like to, Lifting the Trophy on all socials out there, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you would like to, you do not have to if you don't want to. I'll be here next Monday, 5 to 7, same time slot for the afternoon drive, talking, recapping everything that went on throughout the week. Thank you all for listening. Peace.